Derek's putting us on the games, dude.
That's what
He's putting us on the games, the good games.
I'm about to be swole headed back to camp. Like,
You already swole, bro.
I was just eating protein all
Here we
day.
go, man. Yeah, this is our jam.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to episode 51. 51 episodes of Tune In to Dillon, the podcast, your favorite podcast out there on all streaming platforms. We're back. Me and Will are back in the lab. Will's looking nice. He's got a nice green shirt on, looking good. And not only ourselves, probably the best looking guy on this thing. We got Derek Pratt, previously a college athlete, huge in the fitness world. We'll get into it. I've known this guy for a long time from Massachusetts. I'm excited to get you on here and just talk all things sports pod and have some fun.
Thank you for having me, guys. I'm pumped to be here. I've definitely been following the podcast for a little bit now, so I'm ready to be a guest.
I love that. Appreciate that, man.
For sure.
So how did you, so obviously you were an athlete in high school, and then you're talking a little bit before we jumped on here, but you said you had like 35 offers coming out of high school?
Yeah, so I had a very unique situation going into high school. I was recruited to a prep school that actually didn't have a football program yet. So I was recruited from an 8th grader to kind of start a football program at the school called Pingree in Massachusetts. Super good school with sports, great hockey and lacrosse school, but we're new to football. I came in, we joined the Evergreen League right off the bat, which is it's all of New England. There's 6 different states in the league. We were the only non-prep, and I was actually the captain of the team as a freshman. All 4 years of high school, I was the varsity captain, starting running back, starting safety. I was actually the punter and the kicker. I did play a little quarterback, and I kind of was a jack of all trades as much as I could be. And yeah, I got a lot of recognition early, but unfortunately, after game 4 senior year, I was balling and blew out my knee. For every ligament in my left knee, ACL, MCL, PCL, meniscus, it was like an explosion like on the field.
The Willis McGahee.
It was gross. And the worst part is I didn't even get hit.
So that was tough.
Teddy Bridgewater.
Yeah. And this game, I had 3 touchdowns, over 200 all-purpose yards, and it was the third quarter. And it was just a reverse gone bad. And then my coach actually made me spend an entire day of a school day, and I had to call every school that offered me. And I had to tell them the injury that occurred because he didn't want to do it himself. So that day, I basically got a lot of offers to be a preferred walk-on. So that was a tough day for me, a big maturing day for me as a man, I would say, and a big growing day for me. I had to pretty much go from playing in front of, crowds that you played in front of, AJ, to,
Playing in front of crowds that I got.
Dude, at Maine, we would get like, the stadium could hold 15,000, but we would get like 2,000 people because it's 10 degrees there, So Black Bear fans,
hey, Black Bears, you guys make sure you guys pack the stadium this year, man.
Yeah,
they need the warmth on the field, the body heat.
The players need exactly that extra heat. So, but it was a blessing. My dad played football at UMaine. My mom went to UMaine, and my parents basically raised my older brothers there. So for me, it was literally the universe just saying, Derek, that's your path, and that's where you're supposed to go. So easy decision for me. My dad was actually in the meeting with Jack Cosgrove when they put the paper in front of me and, wanted me to sign on the dot. And just seeing my dad's face light up, it took all the pain away from losing all the scholarships and made it worth it. So
that's cool, man. That's really cool. How did that? So I obviously went to UMaine and all that stuff. How did that transition? What did your transition into the fitness and content world really start?
So when I got to Maine, I was always, my senior year of high school, I was 6'2", 215, and super athletic. Blew up my knee. Obviously, I lost a step. So Maine actually put me at linebacker, and I got up to 240. I was a big boy.
Big fella.
And then, unfortunately, concussions happened, and after my sophomore season, I actually had to retire. And there's no point in me being 240 pounds walking around campus when I really didn't want to be. So from that point on, I was always a gym rat, but I was always training for football. I then had to alter my mindset in the gym and more so figure out how to get a sustainable workout program for my lifestyle now moving forward. But also all the injuries I acquired over the years from football, basketball, lacrosse, and how to kind of fix those injuries without having to see a PT or a doctor regularly, because I was broken by the time I stopped playing. So that kind of forced me into educating myself a lot in the fitness world, which, knowledge is power. And the more you know, the more powerful you can be and the more you can do. So I just kind of fell in love with it. And it started from my injuries, and I utilized the injuries and tried to make it a positive for me moving forward.
That's dope. I mean, I think your story, and we'll keep talking about it, I think your story is very unique, but it's really cool to see. Obviously, we've had guys. Last week we had Sean Clifford on. He's, getting ready, battling in OTAs right now. And, he went to Penn State, all-time leading passer there and everything. And, that's one path. Then there's guys who, might go other paths like yourself, but are super successful in a different field. So, it's definitely cool. And, I'm learning from talking to you. There is one thing I have always wanted to know, and we're going back to high school days. So I went to Lawrence Academy. We were in the ISL, and so I know Pingree. I know people who went to Pingree. I do want to know, what is a Highlander?
It's a horse.
It's a horse. It's a mask.
Yeah.
Okay. I had no idea. That says. Did you know that, Will?
I had no idea. No, I didn't know that. I thought it was like
sorry.
a Toyota or something.
I wanted to know that for a long
Well,
time.
to be honest, so Pingree, they also say the Pingree Pegasus, which is more the academic mascot. So that's why they have most of Pingree stuff is like a horse.
But a
Should've
Pegasus,
kept the Pegasus.
A Pegasus is like a unicorn, right? It doesn't
Exactly,
have a horn.
exactly.
Or it's a horse with wings.
Oh no, so no horn.
No horn. Horse with
Oh,
wings.
so yeah, take the wings off.
It's like
when
a
you're balling.
mythical
creature.
horse, I think. Yeah, I think so.
That's like a throwback to flying cars. Like we talk about flying cars nowadays, like flying horses with the thing back.
That might have gone crazy though, low key. on a helmet, a horse with wings. Forget the
facts.
Broncos,
Bro, yeah.
Pegasus.
Yeah, that's
Facts.
fire.
The expansion team in London.
We just had to pee. We didn't even utilize the mascot. We just had to pee on our helmets. So
That's
actually, I got my main helmet and my Pingree helmet right next to me.
You got to put it on for old time's sake. No.
If I didn't have my hair done, I would.
Yeah.
Bro, I still have the visors on my helmets.
Oh, that's fire.
sick.
Hey, no problem with the hair over here, man.
I used to, bro. That was my look. High school and college, I had a baldy all day.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I actually made my whole high school
You're a
basketball
dog.
team and my whole high school football team shave their heads.
My man's out here, Taysom Hill with the bald head going crazy.
Oh, bro, I'm not gonna lie. I was different. I was that guy that when you hit me, it made me stronger. I loved it.
Yeah.
Like every hit, I was like, "Whoo, give me more." My teammates hated me in practice because I literally didn't. I had one speed, so it was game speed in practice too. And I definitely talked a lot. I'm not gonna lie.
Have to.
I'm way more chill and humble right now as an adult than I was in high school. And
yeah, bro, you were built for the gym and fitness lifestyle, bro.
No, 100%.
You were built for it. Like, one more rep. That's definitely you.
I love it. I'm that guy that you'll see me in the corner of a gym by myself, just doing
Just
crazy
locked in.
shit for no reason. And I have people come up to me every day, bro, what are you doing? What are you training for right now?
All right, hey, that's a perfect segue, because I was gonna ask. You said obviously transitioning from football, you had to figure out kind of, this is the one way I've trained, and I'm training to play linebacker XYZ. Now I want to train for my own fitness. I don't want to be 240. I still want to be strong, lean, muscle mass. But I feel like there's definitely a big misconception when people talk about people like content creators or influencers in the gym. You're still lifting the weights, you're still doing workouts, you're just finding ways to either do it better or whatever. I don't know the world, so I'll let you talk about it. But what would you say is the biggest difference between training for performance and for content, if that makes sense?
Oh, for sure. So I would say 90% of the content creators that are popping out there that are doing crazy shit on Instagram are just doing it for show. And same thing. When you're seeing me out there doing backflips into Supermans into burpee, I'm not doing that every single day working out. You know what I mean? When the camera's on me, I gotta perform. Same thing when you're on the field. You know what I mean? So you want to put on the best show you can when you get the ball and when you're playing. Same thing as a content creator. Like we have athletic abilities, like especially guys doing calisthenics and who are actually doing this. Because like there's people who can definitely be imitators in the fitness world on there who know nothing, who just naturally look good and just are going through the motions trying to copy other people. And then you have your guys who are in the like 1% that are actually, you're seeing all over social media. You're seeing them, educating people. You're seeing them talking about it, living it. And, it's a full on lifestyle. And the guys that are actually making money on it, you got to put on a show. And these brands that are paying people like myself to do content for them, they want to see the best content possible, which, it's an entertainment point too. Like the fitness world, yes, it's educational and we want to help people get better and healthier. But also when you're having so many people view your content, you want to put on a show. And you're not just trying to go through the motions of like a normal everyday workout. Like what I post and what I do, it's, yes, I do those workouts, a few times a week, but I'm not doing them every single day. So it's like, I'm going to put forward the best that I do every time I'm posting something, obviously. So I want people to be impressed every time I post something. So I hold the content to a super high standard. I want to push myself extra to motivate people because my whole thing is when I was a little kid, my parents always told me, you are limitless. Literally, you can do whatever you believe. And my theme song for my life is I Believe I Can Fly. When Space Jam came out, I watched that movie with my parents, and they literally told me from the intro to that movie when that song starts, they're like, that's your song, and live it. And I'm not gonna lie, I think my mom regretted it a little bit at first because I didn't go the normal path. I graduated college and then I moved out to LA and I started modeling and acting. And literally I had no other jobs. I was grinding, I was broke, I was struggling, and I didn't ever ask my parents for anything. I put that weight on my shoulders, but they were the ones who told me, you've got it, you can do whatever you want. So my whole life and my whole path has been trial and error. It's been grinding and taking one situation and going to the next and learning how to capitalize. Like I went from a full-time model. I was one of the top models in the world. And I actually met Lady Gaga's team while I was modeling. Turned that into my first ever client. So I literally was training the House of Gaga for 2 years as my first client ever.
That's crazy.
So I started off with a bang. I literally was blessed with the most unreal situation moving forward. COVID just happened. Literally, COVID happened. I was literally in the House of Gaga every day, 2 to 3 hours a day for 2 years. And that was my first client. And so I got blessed to, her creative director, Nicola Formichetti, #1 creative director in the world. I learned so much about content from him that it gave me that step up when I started in the fitness world full time, that I already knew what I was about to do and how to do it. So I had that inside track. He was one of my closest friends when I was out there starting. So it was like such a huge blessing. And then from there, got the attention of Andre Drummond, who I then went from her to him. And, I lived with Dre for almost 4 years, and, that's my guy. Like yeah. So I was blessed to actually be able to train the most incredible superstars out there. From Dre, I was able to work with a lot of his teammates. I got to work with a lot of different teams that he was on. We, over the summertime, we got to, we were in pickup ball with the whole league. Like my experience just continued every year to grow as a trainer. And I learned how to, while being a trainer for these incredible people, I learned how to crush my content and utilize my situations. So then I still, last summer I was training Dre in the off season. I don't train him full time anymore. But I've learned how to take one thing and kind of continue to grow from it. I never get satisfied from things. And now I'm currently building an online platform where I'm going to have a website, an app, and, I want to be able to reach and help as many people as I can. And with how much I travel, it's hard to do that right now.
I think that's cool though. Just the trial and error and just sending it honestly. I think that's the best way to live life in a lot of ways. Especially I feel like in your, industry where it's content, it's just kind of seeing what sticks, throwing everything at the wall. I'm just kind of curious, how did like so you went from like building, or you just kind of just got thrown into this place, or does the connection just organically happen? Like it's a wild story. Like you're like, oh, all of a sudden I was doing this, then all of a sudden I'm hanging out with Lady Gaga and her squad. Like this is like very foreign to me and like the whole LA sphere.
So I would say my biggest strength in my life is networking.
Okay.
I really am good at connecting with people. I'm a very genuine person, and I am not someone who's gonna just give hidden agendas just to grow my own self. And I think people can kind of see that when they talk to me and connect with me, that I'm a real person. And when I was in LA, that's a rare thing to come across. So I was able to network very well out there. I was able to make a lot of good connections, but I was also traveling around the world modeling too. So I was doing a lot of cool stuff at the same time, which was also attractive to that team at the time, because not only was I training them, but I also got a few magazine covers working with them. I got to do a lot of cool stuff being their trainer. They actually featured me in other things, so it was a cool way to still grow in that world. But that was kind of my little icing on the cake in the modeling world. And then once I went with Dre, it was just all fitness, all athletics. Really started to go heavier on myself rather than the clients. So I was doing a lot of the workouts with Dre. Like I pride myself in being able to keep up with anybody in the gym. So whether that's you, AJ, or Andre, or
Hey, man,
whoever.
I don't know if he can keep up with
Not
that
lifting
Eagle
wise,
squat
not
room.
lifting
I don't know if he
Hey,
can.
come
I don't know if he
on.
can keep up with those Eagles. That
Hey,
Eagle squat
I'm down
room,
for a
man.
challenge, bro. No matter
I'm
what,
not
we're gonna get
saying
some good work
weights,
in.
because I have a detached hamstring in my leg, so I cannot. Yeah, but guys, believe me, if I told you all my injuries, you'd be like, "How are you doing anything fitness?" But yeah, I physically, you put me on the field, I'm running as much. Like I don't get tired. Like I just don't compete
I
in
don't
anything.
get tired. Hey man, we gotta make it. We gotta make it. Edit our producer. I know we gotta do. I don't know if we can get the rights to "I Believe I Can Fly," but if we get the intro of you coming into that, would be sick.
On a Pegasus.
On a Pegasus.
God.
Hey, you can do
That
some
would be
crazy
crazy.
things these days with AI.
Dude, I'm pumped to see you in Philly. By the way,
Nah, bro.
I
We
lived
got.
there
I
for
think.
a little bit.
Yeah.
It's a good city, man. The fans they're gonna love you, bro. They're die hard.
Bro, actually, I've been loving Philly, man. OTAs has been great. I've had a couple of cheesesteaks. My wife and I know you follow along. We've been going to all the restaurants and stuff, trying to pick our favorites. We just took my son to his first ever baseball game yesterday, so he's like 2 and a month, so 25
That's
months.
awesome.
When do you stop? When do you stop counting babies in months? Is it after 24? I think so.
Honestly, I don't know.
So I think he's
so.
just 2. I think
I
he's
just remember
just
from
2.
Grown Ups or like Grown Ups 2 or something like that. That they're like, oh yeah, he's 48 months old. It's like so he's 44 years old. He's 4.
Yeah, I don't think
love
he's
that.
25 months. I think
Facts.
he's 2, and he's just 2 until next year, like all
Right.
of us.
No, I love
But
that. So,
bro, he loved it, bro. The atmosphere. There's so much to look at.
Mhm.
I didn't even think. I'm like, we got some extra time. Yesterday was like the last day of OTAs. So it was like, let's do a little something, and we brought him there, dude, and he's loving it. He's got fries, and
Sick.
they got like chicken fries or something like that.
Mhm.
I got
Yeah,
it's
my
it's a
first
Philly.
sporting event was a Red Sox Phillies game in Philly. I was,
Ooh,
Woo!
that must have been crazy.
Were you
It was
wearing the
a
wrong
shell shock.
jersey?
Oh yeah, definitely. And I was a high school kid, and I was just like, "But this is crazy." I thought Boston fans were crazy.
Yeah, no, I mean they're passionate out here, man. I remember coming here when we were playing the Eagles, and they let you hear it as the opposing team. I'm hoping on the home sideline it's a little bit more love.
Oh, all
Brotherly
love, bro.
love, man. Brotherly love.
Brotherly love.
You just don't want to fail them, because I have heard many a boos in the Philly 76ers stadium.
Dude, I heard like obviously the Eagles are known for we got the tush push, and you have gone for it a lot on 4th down and everything like that. I heard that like the guys were getting booed last year because they brought out the punt team once or twice. They're like, boo. It's like I love it though. Like I
Ruthless,
love it. It's
man.
like if we're gonna be this team, we're going for it every single time. It's like the worst
Hey.
person to play Madden against, a person who just goes for it
Bro.
on 4th down every time.
100%.
It's like, bro, that's not how you're supposed to play.
Dude, it's 4th and 5. You got to punt. Nope.
Nah, 4th and
That's
6 and over
hilarious.
is a rule.
It's been funny,
Yeah.
dude. Naturally I've just been on Philly Twitter now, like
Yeah.
or just the Eagles Twitter, just because pay attention so close to you, AJ, and it's some of their comments are like, "What are we doing this off season?" And then some are like it's either like extremely high on everything or extremely low on everything. It's insane. I don't know.
I mean,
Just
y'all's offense
crazy.
is crazy.
Bro, our whole team is crazy. I will say this. No glazing, no glazing. I will say, like, the thing when you go into free agency, like your agents, you got a bunch of teams and you're trying to figure out where you're gonna go. And I've talked about this on the pod, so people who are caught up understand the process that I went through. But a thing last year, when I was trying to figure out, and then again this year, it's Super Bowl teams or any of those like top 4 teams, like those big time Super Bowl contenders that were right there. Like, obviously they're the cream of the crop, but like they're looking like it's a luxury. Like, they already have a great nucleus, unless they lose like some crazy time big player. Like, they're already set. So then if they're going out to get you or adding, it's just like little bits and pieces. So like you're like, yeah, the offense is stacked. Yeah, I mean, we got dogs all across the board, Pro Bowlers all across the board. You got 2 receivers who can get 1,000 yards, 2,000 yards apiece. Running backs, obviously Saquon. Yeah, Dallas got it. Bro, the defense. I'm like, we're not. You can't like hit or anything in OTAs. You're just kind of 7-on-7. I'm like, bro, these guys are the real deal. The D line, like, we got studs all around. So it's cool to be a part of it. And obviously, I was on some pretty good Green Bay teams for sure. But like, they're coming off that high of literally winning the Super Bowl. Like, they just did it. So it's like,
Facts. I mean, that
Yeah,
D line
they-
put on a show in the
bro,
Super Bowl.
it's crazy. It's crazy.
That was impressive. Yeah.
Yeah.
Facts.
Yeah, no,
But,
but
no, I'm happy for you, bro. You went into a great situation, and that
Yeah.
backfield now is. You guys have the best backfield in the league.
hey, I'm looking forward to it,
How
man.
the hell are you gonna stop? Because once you get tired going after him, you're worse.
It's gonna be
Their
fun,
defen-
bro. It's gonna be fun.
defenses
Hey,
are in for a problem.
Run the
As
damn
a
ball.
Patriots fan, I mean, we're still in rebuilding, so I don't
yeah,
have to
I
really
feel
worry
like
about
I feel
being
like the
competitive
Patriots
too
though.
long.
Like, I will say this, man. Like, I'm a big Mike Vrabel fan. I went to college with his son. We played at BC together, and I've gotten a chance to talk to him and meet him, over the years, Mike, that is. So I
Yeah.
think, especially a guy, a legend who's played there and stuff, like, I think naturally, as
Yeah.
a Massachusetts guy, Connecticut guy within me, like, for the hope,
Yeah.
like, I don't want them to ever beat us or any team I'm on,
Of course,
but,
of course.
I think, like, they're coming out of the rebuild. Slow, like,
Mhm.
I think it'll be good years ahead.
Drake makes
But-
the truth, man.
Yeah.
He
Speaking
is,
of
and
speaking of
their talent
athletes,
got
though,
better.
what'd you say?
No, I said they did get better this offseason, though.
Yes. Speaking of athletes, top athletes, and everything, I'm a big LinkedIn guy.
LinkedIn warrior over here.
I am a LinkedIn warrior. Anything.
This is what Tommy B2B sales.
So we
No,
looked
my
up your
dad's big on
LinkedIn.
LinkedIn too.
We
you
looked
did?
up your
Okay.
LinkedIn, and it says I'm currently training some of the top athletes in the world.
Yes.
Not trying to name drop, and I know you're also training
Oh.
everybody, through social
I'm
media.
actually. I need to update my LinkedIn though. I need to update.
All right. Let's hear it. Like, who are you training right now? Who's some of your favorite people you have trained, etc. or trained with?
I mean, to be honest, right now I'm just focused on building my platform.
Mhm.
I'm traveling pretty much all summer, so I'm kind of taking it a personal summer. But I mean, to be honest, one of my favorite people I've trained is Kai Anthony. So
Nice.
Carmelo, last summer I got the opportunity to work at the Top 100 basketball camp, and I helped Dre coach. Well, I wasn't really coaching; he was coaching, but I was helping some of his guys. But specifically that whole week, every single day, I got to work with Kai Anthony, who is, he's the future of basketball. I think
Yeah.
the kid is a walking bucket. Having the opportunity to talk to Carmelo and that was a cool situation. And working with younger kids, I think for me is definitely important, because I want like Dre, when I linked with him, he was already an NBA All-Star and he already had the foundation.
For sure.
Kai, he's got a lot of growth, and the kid is the most unbelievable athlete I've seen at that age. So seeing someone like him that I could even help take to a bigger level, that's definitely my more interest now. I've connected with a lot of super high talented high school and college basketball players, who I am gonna start working with. But overall, that's the goal. I think it's awesome working with established people like yourself. But you can go into a gym and know how to get a workout done with or without me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Some of these kids are still new. Most of them just live
Trying
in the
to
gym
figure it
playing.
out.
Yeah, all these kids just know basketball. They know ball year round. They know how to. Everything I was doing with Kai, he was like, "Oh, this is different. This is cool."
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Hand clean.
Nope.
I
I was putting him through the craziest band workouts, agility workouts, mobility workouts. I was getting his flexibility up, all things that kids don't think about. It's very easy to just put a kid through a normal, like typical workout that every other trainer is going to do, but he could get that when he goes back to New York without me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I wanted to give him something new that he could take with him and, that no other trainer is really going to do with him. So that's just stuff like that I really want to help mold young minds. Like my niece, actually,
Mm-hmm.
she's in 7th grade. She has pitched a perfect game last night.
Oh wow.
She literally struck out every batter besides 2, and one was a ground ball to her at the pitcher's mound. The other was a ground ball to the first baseman, and she went 4 for 4, hit a grand slam, and then followed up the grand slam with a 3-run home run.
Hey.
Oh my gosh,
Okay.
that's crazy.
I mean, there you
And-
go.
Shout out.
My niece is also she won MVP. She plays for Michael Carter Williams AAU team,
Got
the
it.
Stars, and she was the MVP of the last AAU tournament they did out in Connecticut. The girl is a walking bucket. She looks like Caitlin Clark. So like that is my future athlete that I'm
Yeah.
going to be molding. That's the
Okay,
goal.
that's sick.
I'm telling my brother, like, they just started a women's softball league. I want
Yeah.
to help her get to that league. So
That's
that is
awesome.
my goal.
Hey, it runs in the family. That's sick. We had a guy on. We had Ian Johnson on 2 episodes ago, big in the NIL space, and he was saying, or maybe Will, you brought it up. There was like a softball girl. I want to say Oklahoma
Yeah,
pitcher.
Yeah,
who
well,
just got like $1 million
Oklahoma's nasty.
NIL deal. It's
Oklahoma's
crazy.
nasty.
Yeah, he said either Ace NIL. I mean,
Or something like that.
Yeah, his take was that that softball is the next biggest
sport.
sport. It's the next sport.
I
So
agree.
that's really cool to hear. Well,
Yeah,
man, it's cool. It's cool. It's cool to hear, like, all that stuff that you're building. You've built your brand up so much. I'm kind of curious on how you're landing sponsors and all of that stuff. Was it just following the brand, like you grew yourself, and then the sponsors kind of followed? You're in the energy drink space, or I mean, honestly, just there's a lot of consumption space that you're in. I feel like that's such a highly competitive market. I would love to learn a little bit more about that if you could, dive
course.
into it.
So being a model and learning what brands want was a huge advantage for me as a content creator. I was able to go on these sets with 50 to 100 people on a production, and I was able to see firsthand, what a Nike campaign is, what a Puma campaign is. I got to do a Versace campaign. I got to work for the biggest and best brands out there in the modeling world. So then once I decided to shift into the fitness world, I already knew how I could deliver for these brands. So I basically started off by just making videos using C4 Energy because I was a huge C4 powder guy. I always used to, in high school, crush that before a workout.
C4.
So, I was like, let me just start tagging these brands.
Yeah.
I had 10,000 followers. I literally was a nobody. And I was just like, what, let me just do some dope stuff and see what sticks. And, C4 brought me on as a very low athlete. I was making probably like $500 a month, some good stuff for me at the time. I was broke, I was just building this at the time. So I learned a lot from them. And then I was able to use that partnership, which I was in for like 6 years, and kind of transition and network myself. I'm not shy, bro. Like when I want something, I'm not going to sit there and wait for it. So if I'm the type of person, I say no to 75% of people that hit me up. Most people reached out that they're not a part of my brand. They're not a part of my lifestyle. And I'm not just going to take a quick buck just because I want to, make a paid post. It's just unnecessary for me. So I'm very authentic, and everything that I post about, it's actually in my routine and my lifestyle. So brands want to work with people that actually use their stuff. They don't want to just be sending product to people and having them put on fake ads and like, oh yeah, buy this. I don't use it, but you should. Like,
Yeah.
no
You
need.
you need to be genuine. You need to be genuine.
Right.
It makes
So
it
like for me, like Alphalete, if you looked at my Instagram, I don't, unless I'm like wearing a suit, you literally don't see me wearing anything else. I am diehard for that brand. You see me using a protein bar. You see me drinking protein drink. It's all specific, but I only work with brands that are involved in my day-to-day lifestyle. So I'm not going to work with anybody that I can't just, I know I can post this in my story today because I'm going to use it today. And that needs to be something that is a requirement for me if I'm going to work with you as a company. So
I think that's
authenticity,
awesome. I think that's
yeah,
awesome, man. I feel like too, in the world where there are, I mean, my wife does a lot of influencing and cooking and stuff, so like I understand it from, you know, kind of seeing what she's doing, and I do
right.
think, you know, you talk to somebody who's like, oh, you do this. I do think there's a lot of negative connotation, just like anything, any profession, because there are a lot of people who are just in it to just like, hey, I will post whatever you want me to, and like here for whatever. And so people are like, how authentic is it? But like you're saying, like I know my wife does, like she makes these cooking videos, like she's really using it because it's organic and the best for us and etc.
Yeah.
So it's good, and I think it's refreshing. Especially we haven't really had many like people who do content creation necessarily on the pod. So I think a lot of the listeners too, it's good to really understand, like, yes, everybody's a little different, but if you find somebody who's really genuine, you follow them. Like it's more than just a journey, but it's their lifestyle and how you don't need to be this person, but you can be like, if you want to do similar things or similar mindset. That's dope though. I do have a question real quick.
Yes.
Do you have any current relationship with Abercrombie and Fitch? Okay. Because in the LinkedIn deep dive.
The LinkedIn Warrior deep dive.
LinkedIn deep dive.
Oh yes, I forgot about that job.
Back in 2013, you were a manager in training position at Abercrombie and Fitch, and apparently you had to leave there to medical reasons involving loud music and strong fragrances. And the smell in the store gave you constant migraines and headaches.
Yep. Yeah, that was.
Have you been back in the store since?
No. No.
Probably
That
hated
was
Hollister
real, guys. That was real. So back when I took this job, they actually had recruiters coming on to the UMaine campus, and it was all these girls who were trying to just pull in these dudes that they thought were attractive. And I was like, shit, I'll be a manager of Abercrombie out of college. Like it had a guaranteed salary. Like it was a layup of a job. I was like, sweet. But I also just came off of like retirement from football because of my headaches, like my head injuries.
Yeah.
So I was dealing with migraines regularly before that. I was sensitivity to light, loud music. Like it took a while. My last concussion was a bad one. Like I was throwing up blood in the airport before we were flying home.
Damn.
It was another story.
Jeez.
But
yeah.
So yeah, I was dealing with it. So I go to the store and I notice, I'm like, there's machines in every room just pumping fragrance every like 30 seconds. And I'm just like getting high in there. I'm like, this is not safe. and after a month of this job, guys, I literally like, I hit my boss up. I'm like, I think I'm getting long-term problems from working in your store. And they panicked. They were like, yo, we're going to put you on a 6-month leave, paid. Don't worry about it. You're good. I think they thought I was going to sue them for medical reasons, but I was just like, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
So I got like a solid, it was worth it. I worked there for a month and got paid for 6.
Yeah. No,
That's smooth.
that's dope. Yeah, go ahead.
At the time was when the Abercrombie guy was only making clothes for small people. I don't know if they're still doing that, but there was a huge issue that big women were coming into the store. And they were complaining to me, and they're like, "You don't make any clothes that fit me. Like you guys are prejudiced, blah blah blah." And I'm just like, I gotta get out of here. Like this is not what I need to deal with right now.
It's like, I'm not making the clothes. It says
I just work here.
Manager in training, manager in training.
Right.
How
many decisions do I make?
Hey, I just had to make sure, man. I know you're well tied in. You're doing your content creation. You're doing your modeling. I didn't want to, bring up anything if you're in talks, but
No.
I thought that one we were scrolling through. We're like, bro, what?
I've done it all. I've worked construction. I've worked landscaping.
Yeah.
I literally used to work for this window company, putting in glass doors, windows. Bro, you
Jack
name
of
it,
all
I've done
trades.
it.
Bro, so
I grew up grind like my mom,
Yeah.
my parents from 8th grade. I've had a job, so my parents have always taught me like if you're not working, like
Yeah. What
you know what I mean?
where in
So,
Mass are you from again?
Gloucester, Massachusetts.
Gloucester. I've been up there
Yeah.
on the beach before. It's nice.
Oh yeah, best beach town in Mass.
Yes, sir. Do you have a do you have a like a favorite? This might be tough. So do you have like what's one of your favorites? Rather, let's say it like that. What's one of your favorite brand deals or collabs or content like person that you've worked with or group that you've worked with? One of them. You were talking
So-
about Alpha Elite too, so
I do
whatever
love
you-
Alpha Elite.
Yeah.
I was recently in Houston. Christian Guzman, I don't know if you're familiar with him, but he has built quite the brand. Alpha Land is literally the biggest gym in the United States. It is, it is unbelievable. So I love working with them. I'm gonna go back to my OG though, Slate Milk. Slate Milk is a Boston created brand. They actually originated on Shark Tank back in 2019. And these guys just not only do they make an incredible product that I literally consume as much as possible without being annoying to keep ringing up on product. They are just a family. Like they for me, like I'm constantly in talks with the owner, the partnership manager, like she's the homie. Like me and my girlfriend are literally like we were their first ever athletes they signed, and we just anything they need, they know they can depend on us for. Like we just did a campaign for them that's literally in pretty much every store that Slate's in.
Yeah.
Me and my girlfriend's face is
That's
in
dope.
all over the country right now.
Is it
So,
out,
like-
is it out in Philly?
Oh yeah, if you got like I don't know I forget what's grocery stores are all,
we got
but
a
like
Giant
what'd you say?
called Giant. Like am I
Giant? I'm not
I
sure.
think he's
If-
glitching out a little
If
bit.
Slate Milk is
Hold up a
sold
sec.
there,
So here's my thing. Have you tried the iced coffee? Is it all what's the goal behind Slate? It's protein or is it like energy?
yeah. So they have two different products. They have it's like a lactose-free chocolate milk. So that was the goal behind the brand. Their first flavor was milk chocolate. Since then they have evolved with vanilla, dark chocolate. Their latte drinks, it's pretty much like
Oh, yeah.
it's like 2 cups of coffee. So there's 175 milligrams of caffeine.
We need
in
those
them.
before the pod. We need those before the
But
pod.
there's 20
Slam some Slate. Get
Yeah,
ready,
man.
bro. We'll have
Oh,
some
I-
fire episodes.
Hey, I can. You guys want to?
Hey,
I'll make it happen.
Let's
Let's try it. Let's do
We'll
it.
make it happen.
I'm looking at the website right now.
Actually, let's get Manny. Let's get Manny on the next podcast. Manny is the owner. He crushes podcasts. The dude is a stud. I love him to death. He's based in New York, but let's get him on there. I'll tell them you guys need a sponsor.
Hey, let's go. Hey,
We'll make
hey,
it
Manny,
happen.
I'm headed to New York tomorrow. Let's go get some coffee. No, for sure. Let's do
No,
it.
actually, facts. I'll connect you guys. And they just came out. They just came out with a 42 gram protein.
I
drink.
need some protein in my life, man.
So
I mean,
it's
Will's
16
been,
ounces.
You know what? Let's little sidebar. Sorry, we're going all over the place. Forget the script, dude. Will has been working out. Will's been hitting the gym. You know, he post wedding. There's a new gym just opened up in Green Bay.
Let's go.
He's been crushing the workout. So
Hell yeah.
I don't know if we need Will like jumping off the wall with
No days
bands
off.
and stuff going crazy, but like you should come up. We should do a workout plan. You should come up with like a agreed upon like workout plan, and we should track the fitness on the pod.
Hey, I'd be down, man.
That'd be fun. That like you
Hit the
should
journey?
do that.
That's a good
That'd be
idea.
fire.
Yeah, get the
That'd be sick.
Track the journey
I'd
on
love
it.
that. That'd be fun.
let's go.
I'm like
Do I
signing
have to
Will
take
up
my
for.
shirt
I'm
off and
signing
shit?
Will up for workout.
I gotta take my
Actually,
shirt
bro.
off. I'm fine.
Hey, that's another journey.
Hey, yeah,
go.
I'm down with that.
Help
That'd be
you
fun
out.
sponsorship. That'd be a lot of fun. So what's So let's get into some more like rapid questions. Just some fun stuff here. What's the most overrated recovery tool or fitness trend?
Most overrated recovery. I mean,
Let's go.
Oh,
That's exactly what
100.
I was about to say. That's exactly what I was about to say. It's cap.
now, believe me, I know it's good for you, but it's so overrated and overdone and overhyped. Now, a lot of people don't realize you go to the gym and you crush your legs and then you cold plunge. You are ruining your game.
It takes away the blood away from it.
Ruining. You want to let your muscles naturally grow and build. You are just icing those babies and causing them to immediately tense up, and like you're ruining the blood flow. Like, yes, I get it. It's a good way to wake up and energize yourself. Obviously, you're naturally shocking your body, but I prefer a sauna.
That's good.
I red light sauna every day. I think stretching in a sauna, utilizing the heat for the body is incredible. I do isolate my muscles and ice, my shoulders and my knees when I need it, but I don't feel the need to put my entire body regularly in cold water. Also, you could get hypothermia. Not everyone has good circulation. Like my girlfriend puts her feet in there and immediately her feet kill. So it's like, how good is that for her? And then like I was telling my mom, yeah, when I do cold plunge, I basically cannonball and jump right out. She's like, you put your head under there, and then she looked it up, and apparently that's terrible for you. But like, people don't. There's not a map to
just cold water.
So like a lot of people can be harming their body by.
You just validated.
Like
while you were thinking, I was gonna jump in. I was gonna be like, if you need a sec, I think cold tub, because people love, especially like you're such in the fitness world. People are like, you got. It's like, nah. If my knees are hurting or your ankles or whatever, yeah, put some ice on it for sure. I'm not saying ice is bad for you and to recover. Right. But like and I'm like, let's just like get in the sauna. I'm like telling these guys, like, get in the sauna. It's good for you. Like, I'm just gonna hop in this cold tub. It's not the same thing. It's not the same thing.
I had a buddy who was just so adamant about the cold tub. He was telling his girlfriend, it's like, I'm just in a better mood, like all this stuff. And then all of a sudden, he like got a little bit of road rage. Someone cut him off, and she's like, oh, is that cold plunge helping? And he's like, all right, I'm out. I'm done. He quit right after that.
Yeah, bro.
That's hilarious. No, the cold plunge is a mindset, and it's also definitely a fad right now. So more power to people who do it regularly. I live in a building complex in Florida that we have a 35-degree cold plunge it sits at. And I've used it 5 times. I've lived there for a year and a half. But every time I walk by it, there's people just sitting in there, and their neck just like, they just look like a bobblehead sitting in water. That doesn't look fun.
All right, hey, go to. Well, you can't say I Believe I Can Fly. We know you like that one already. What's your go-to playlist in the gym, or type of music in the gym? Not doing content creation, just like working out for you.
So when I'm lifting and I'm like getting in that mindset where I'm actually like going hard, Eminem "Go to Sleep" is my jam. That was my song before every football game, and it gets me in the mindset that I would get in before football. And when I have that mindset before a workout, it's a wrap. So anything Eminem, that's my guy. I definitely listen to, I would say, more early 2000s rap and hip hop in the gym. I definitely appreciate that music more than today's music. But also, there'll be days where I have a handful of motivational playlists of just intense music, people basically screaming motivational words, and I will let that just run. And you talk about one more rep.
Yeah.
You don't want to stop. Like literally some of these speeches these guys are saying, I'll be dead. And they'll just
little David
it's like I have someone spotting me. Push, let's go. It's crazy. And I'll send these playlists to my brothers because my whole family works out like I do. Not the same intensity, but the same.
Yeah.
Like they work out twice a day. Man. Like, yeah, it's wild. So I'll send this to my brothers and they'll be getting hyped up.
I love that. Work. Obviously, working out's important, but also, your diet is just as important with everything too. What is your cheat meal of choice?
So, if you know me, you know that my weekend cheat meal is pizza and
Do you have
cream.
a favorite spot for those two things? Okay.
Not in Florida, unfortunately. Back home, there's a place called Sebastian's Pizza. That's been my go-to for since I was a little kid, bro. Like that spot, they have a nice sweet sauce.
In
Literally,
Gloucester?
I just do cheese. It's that good.
Sebastian's. All right, I'm gonna put it on the
yeah.
list. I'm gonna show up, and if it's not good, I promise you, I will let you know. So you got to give me the order. Sebastian's with the cheese sauce. All right.
I want a review.
Yeah. Sweet sauce. Yeah. Sebastian's would come.
Sweet sauce. Yeah.
And then ice cream.
Yeah, let's go. But yeah, I've actually had it. I've had Sebastian's twice since I've been home. I've only been home for a week.
I love that.
And ice cream. So Ben and Jerry's is my go-to right now. But I've found the best ice cream in the world and it's called Sweet Gains.
Sweet
Check them out,
gains.
AJ. They are a protein ice cream, and it
Really?
tastes just like Ben and Jerry's. Like there's no
Sweet
lack in flavor,
gains.
but you have all
Damn,
the
Derek-
gains.
Derek's putting us on the gains. dude.
That's what
He's
I'm
putting
saying.
us on the
Bro, I'm gonna
gains,
be
the good gains.
I'm gonna be swole heading back to camp. They'll be
You
like,
already
what were
swole,
you
bro.
doing? I was
Yeah.
just eating protein all day, every day. Dessert, protein. Coffee,
Yep,
protein.
So their Instagram is Eat Sweet Gains. They just came out with a 16 grams of protein, 200
Ooh.
calories, guys, in a pint.
Vacuum
in a pint.
sealed,
Sheesh.
ethically sourced.
So you're telling me my cheat meals are about to get a lot healthier because they
they're
just
Target
recently
now, I
started
see.
shipping nationwide. I met them in New York, but they weren't able to ship it to me in Florida yet. So they're a company that I want to help grow. I do a lot of consulting with brands too, like smaller brands. So like these guys are fresh, and I think
That'd
they're
be
gonna
fire.
take over the ice cream world.
That's awesome, man. I like that.
Those are my cheat meals. No, I love buffalo chicken. Anything. I crush buffalo chicken. That
Bro,
is just the go-to.
one random little sidebar. Have you ever, obviously ever, have you ever been to Mama Goo's in Cambridge? It's right next to BB&N.
Sounds-
Yeah,
Oh,
it's,
yeah,
it's
I
right,
used to
it's
play
right
basketball
there.
against BB&N.
I haven't had this. I'm going back to Boston in a couple weeks, but that is my first stop. Like that's a cheat meal that I haven't had probably in like 6 years. But I was thinking about it right when you were saying it.
I'll meet you there, bro.
They have this honey mustard chicken tender sub. Goes crazy. It's not some like delicacy. It's just like a little sandwich shop, but it goes crazy.
Yeah.
So you just thinking about cheat meals. I'm fired up. I gotta go.
Those are the best. When are you gonna be in
My
Boston?
boy Eddie's getting married. I should know the date. G12? Yes, because you were what, April 12th? Will?
April 11th, but yeah.
April 11th. All right, so I think he's July 11th. So I'll be around like that week. Yeah.
That'll be
Yes, sir.
fun.
A little wedding. Best
Little
man. I gotta
wedding?
get the speech ready. But yeah, no, I think
Okay.
I appreciate you, man. We'll definitely link up for sure. Definitely back in Boston. I'd be sick. Got to get out to the beach. Got to try Sebastian's. We've been meaning to get together for years now. So it's just busy
it's been a while.
schedules.
Hell yeah. Completely. Just
Yeah, now you're in
not
Florida, you
overlapping
were
the
in
right way.
California, and then I left California. So, but hey,
I know,
so
facts.
finishing up, wrapping up. I know we're kind of running on time here. We're almost at like 50 minutes. But do you have like obviously you're doing so much, and a big part of your personality, and from what your parents told you, like you're limitless. You can do whatever, and based on you said you do construction, you do this, you're acting, modeling, etc. You've done it all, and at a high level, and you've been pretty successful with everything. For young people listening, for younger athletes, for people who want to get into content creation but are scared to make that push, or any job, what advice would you have for them in any capacity?
No, for sure. I mean, honestly, I would say, like, I've always said this, Nike has the best slogan ever. Just do it. Like, the worst thing that could happen is you fail and you learn from it and you use that and grow from it. You don't know how many times I failed at things. You don't know how many times I was down in the dumps thinking like, you know, is this worth it? Should I just get a normal job? Like, you know, is this going to happen? We all have doubts in ourselves, but we can't let those doubts affect our actions in our day to day. And if you can get yourself on a consistent path and regimen every single day and just focus on that one day ahead of you, you can do anything, literally anything. We live in a day and age where the world is in our hand. Like my beautiful girl.
Shout out.
The world is in our hand. Shout out to Cassie. Love you, baby. But like, if there's anything I've learned, you know, from my parents, from all of my family members, from my girlfriend, like just from people in my day-to-day life, is like, I know how many people I'm affecting because they tell me, and it only motivates me to want to make that a broader audience. And when you can not only make your life better through your own actions, but you can also positively affect the people around you, that is powerful. So be selfless in your journey of success. You never know who you're going to meet. Network the shit out of yourself and be a good person. People want to work with people they like. And if you're a good person who's willing to put in work, the world is yours. And it doesn't matter if it's in fitness, finance, sales, whatever you're doing, be a dog. Give it 100%. Be passionate and be
Hey,
intentional.
Lucas, man, that's a clip right there. Put some slow motivational
love
music
that.
behind that thing and get it rolling.
Derek, smooth.
Derek, I appreciate that, man. I appreciate you speaking from the heart and opening up about your journey, the highs, the lows of your path. And it's been awesome watching you, obviously on social media, but now getting the chance to talk to you and hear it firsthand, and it's awesome. I know we'll be connected a bunch. We'll be talking a bunch, always, obviously. But how can people
Yes, sir.
follow you? How can people support your brand, your everything that you're doing? You're doing a lot of things, or anything that you want to promote that you're coming out with, brands, etc. As we kind of close them.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that, bro. Yeah, like I said, my biggest project right now is working on DerekPrattFit.com. That should be coming out early fall. It's going to be a website. There's going to be an app, and I'm going to have a variety of workout programs on there. It's going to be, for athletes. It's going to be for, mom and dads at home who only have 30 minutes to do a quick workout. It's going to be for that 7-day gym rat like myself. It's a yeah, exactly. So it's going to be a one-stop shop for workouts, but it's also going to have a built-in nutrition program. It's also going to connect you with all the brands I work with. So if you are interested in, kind of following my journey, not only through my workouts, but also through what I put in my body, everything's going to be on there. And I'm going to try to help as many people around the world as I can with this. So let's get it, guys. And also, me and my girlfriend are crushing events all over Florida right now. So if you guys see us promoting any events, pull up if you're in Florida. DC Fit, we're having a lot of fun. My girl is a beast. She has literally goals for most of you girls out there. So any females who need any motivation or help, I'm probably not your guy, but my girl, she's got you.
I love it. I love that you guys do everything, like you're doing it to get, like, you got both sides of it too. So that's awesome, man. Yeah.
No, she's incredible. It's really, when you find that girl, you were blessed to meet yours a long time ago. But, when the second I met Cassie, it was a wrap. A little over 3 years ago, it was like I knew that was my person. When you find that, it's pretty incredible. She's been a huge help in my journey of success over the last few years. And, being a power couple, just trying to help promote more health and wellness together as couples. That's
awesome,
a big goal of ours as well.
For anyone, I know everybody's on Instagram. Derek T. Pratt for Derek, and for his girlfriend. Is it Costa or Costa? C Costa 99. So make sure you guys go ahead and give them the follow. I know we'll link everything down below in the comments or on the description here on YouTube. If you're listening, you can check them out there. Thanks for listening, everybody. As always, comment, like, subscribe, and go ahead and share. Thank you guys for listening. We'll see you in episode 52 with another special guest.
Appreciate it.
AJ, Will,
Appreciate you, my
thank
guy.
you guys.
Here we go, man. Yeah, this is our jam.